Port wasting the opportunities because it's being played at one end of the ground.
Yeah, they're doing all the attacking at the moment, and Coburg finding it very difficult. I was just going to say, finding it very difficult to penetrate and get the ball out, and they're zoning very well, Port Melbourne, and that's been the real key to it.
And Josh Scipione finishes up with it. Now, we have been calling him for several years Scipione, Ross, but apparently you've checked with him, and it is Scipione, the Italian pronunciation.
From Josh's mouth, Scipione is the way it should be pronounced.
Well, let's see if he can sail towards the first goal. He does. He's had a very good year as well. We mentioned Mitch Woofenden's had a good year, and Scipione comes up with the goal for Port Melbourne. And, well, they're letting Matt D know all about that kick-in as well, and well they might after this.
Just a terrible mistake, and, you know, if you're going to short it in that back half, especially from the kick-in, you just need to make sure that your teammate is clear, you know, 10 metres each side, or at least a minimum, and you just can't take any risks there.
Into the ground at the moment, Port Melbourne completely dominating, but just at the moment, Ross, they're not putting it on the scoreboard yet.
They haven't, no. As you mentioned earlier, Coburg have hardly been inside 50. Daru tries to get some distance, keeping it close to the line, through the hands of Groves. Johnston, non-preferred foot, works to Dillon. Michael Dillon, France with their second.
A terrific vision there. I think it was young Clay Johnson, wasn't it?
It was.
On the boundary line there, and just to look inside, most players would blaze away in that situation, have a shot at goal, looked inside, saw his teammate and spotted him up.
I think he's a natural left footer like his father. That was Johnson. That was a good effort on his right foot. Dillon from straight in front. Has he missed? No, he hasn't. He's got their second, Michael Dillon. So it's all Port Melbourne dominating the player, but 2 goals to them so far.
Yeah, 2-4 to zip is the score at the moment. We're just having a few issues with our computer graphics scoring, but they are absolutely killing them at present.
Well, I think you've mentioned, Pete, that the game is just being played, and we see on the right foot there, young Clay Johnson. That's why I didn't think it was him at first up, because he's a natural left footer, and a good kick to bring it in board and open up the goal face for his teammate there in Dillon.
We'll also find out from Paul Field, if we can, just how long they've been playing in this first quarter. We'll check on that very shortly. We've been playing 10 minutes now, so...
Advantage taken. Chris Kane with a 1-2. Through the middle. Sweeps the hand pass to Smith. It's just a bit in front of him. Sat nicely for him. Runs to 50. Runs into trouble. Groves got the hand pass away. Quick hands. That was clever. Now Gale's a left footer. And he just brings it back enough, I'd suggest. If it's got the distance.
Got there.
Ryan Gale gets Port Melbourne's third. It took a while, but they are dominating the midfield.
And Chris Kane was instrumental then, right from half back. He carried the ball forward, gave out a good handball out in front, and was able to finish up with a handball out to Gale as well. So we mentioned Chris Kane being on the radar of a lot of AFL teams at the moment, and you just saw the reason why. He's a very, very good footballer.
Phil, let's get down to you. Port Melbourne are just moving the ball with ease, and especially through the corridor. They're just slicing Coburg up at the moment. Well, not great. Through the middle of the ground, Keogh throwing himself in after the football. He's going to get the benefit. This man has had a really good start to the second quarter, Arnott. He's been everywhere, Matthew Arnott. And what does he do? He kicks it straight into the man who's standing on the mark, Chris Kane. One-on-one, Galea front spot, brings the ball to the ground, needs to keep his feet. Now, this is traditionally a slippery area. Galea did very well. He's got it to Bonadio, and he finishes the good work of his co-forward. Dean Galea did very well to set that up, and Bonadio puts the finishing touches on it, and Port Melbourne gets the first goal of the second quarter.
Yeah, just a mistake here. We watched that, just kicked it straight, you know. I think I mentioned a schoolboy error before. Well, that was another one, and Dean Galea is very good on that left side and gets it to Bonadio, who was able to run in, kick a pretty easy goal in the end, but just that mistake by Arnott, who, as you mentioned, Pete, has had a great start to this quarter, but that was a bad turnover.
Just come to the back again. This time Johnston does well. Gale's been active early on. His handball to Baird. Baird's got a man on in the middle. Beautiful delivery to Dean Galea. He looked in the corridor. He's had a very good second quarter, John Baird, and that's part of the reason that 3 or 4 teammates get over to him and say, well done, Skip. And Galea will take the shot for goal from just inside the 50. He's had 12 disposals now, John Baird, from our statistician Paul Field. Galia's kick right on the 50. He makes good contact and kicks the goal. So he's got his first goal of the day, and Port Melbourne gets a bit of breathing space. Halfway through the second quarter, the Borough leads by 23.
Yeah, and they seem to have set up a little bit better. I prefer Galia to be the deeper forward, actually, and that's what they're doing at the moment. And Bonadio, he can play up the ground a little bit further. He's very, very good inside 50, Dean Galia.
Phil, we saw a little bit of vision of Gary Ayres and John Baird discussing things at quarter time. It's really important that you have the experienced heads in charge of the football club in the captain and coach's role.
Let them run!
It can be quite hurtful. Prowse takes the front spot. Down to Baird again.
Touch, play on touch!
Another touch ball. Running onto it. O'Sullivan! Good roving, good anticipation, good reading the play from the youngster. And he gets there 6-2 here.
Out of it! Out of it!
I think Galia is not happy with the attention that O'Sullivan got after he kicked the goal.
Yeah, straight up! Dean, straight up! I'll report you for wrestling unless you get up now. Straight up! Dean out! Dean out!
We might need to see the follow-up there after O'Sullivan kicked the goal, but look at Bonadio, he's pointing to the jaw. Let's have a look at this in replay.
No. Let it go. Boys, let it go.
He wasn't happy there, O'Sullivan being pushed into the fence, which I don't think was...
Didn't look that severe.
No, not at all.
Incident, but...
Hang in here. Kane's kick, that's good courage. Going back to the flight. It was D who went back. Rose got it now for Port. Little inside-out kick off the boot of Masiti, and he's come up with a beauty, so they get the quick reply. D showed a lot of courage to go back with the footy and just didn't quite have enough of it. And there's the umpire telling him exactly that, and what an effort it was from Damien Masiti.
Yeah, it was good work here going back with the flight of the ball. He never really had control of that ball at any stage, so that's a fair enough decision by the umpire. Terrific snap for goal, and that's the way the players do it these days, on the outside of their preferred kicking foot rather than using their opposite foot.
So 4 goals to 3. That goal from Masiti, the 20-year-old. A bit of muscle will develop. Prowse went early. Baird in there, captain. Still Baird. And now Johnston. Diving mark Bonadio. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective. The clearance straight down the middle. And Daru caught at the back for the big fellow Bonner.
He might get the trip here.
And just a centre clearance, you know, that's winning that centre clearance, and that's where Coburg, they need, you know, they've just kicked a goal. They need to focus on getting the next goal. You can't lose that centre clearance, and they did, and the big fella Bonner's got another one.
2 to him.
Let's get straight down to Phil Cleary, who's got Gary Ayres with him. Phil?
I just had my feet planted and I was feeling the game going either way, and I thought it was going Coburg's way. I thought you needed that goal.
Yeah, we did, but we caused that, mate, anyway, by our runner actually stopping our momentum through the middle of the ground. So if you can avoid that, you have a chance to get a clearance out of that area.
How is the game swinging? Coburg making a bit of an effort, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they've been a very good side in relation to when they've been up. They've been able to win games, and they're applying pressure. They're using the ball well. We've probably wasted a fair bit of the ball so far, Phil, but yeah, we certainly needed that goal. There's no doubt about that.
I know. Well, I think that point has finally been made by umpire Andrew McCoy and John Baird, who had that brilliant second quarter where he had about a dozen disposals, maybe more. Pops it to the hot spot, says, have a jump, boys, and they all did. Bonadio crashed the pack. And then he gets in there to lay the tackle. D gets on the end of the handball from Groves. Kick up to the wing now. McLean, good handball. Almost released Abdallah. Clifton's in the middle. Oh, he was untidy getting in over the top of the man who wanted the football. That could have been dangerous. And the umpire, Andrew McCoy, right on the spot there. And that was good courage from Charlie Woodley to get down low, wear the contact and get the free.
He spears it into Chris Kane, who's a beautiful kick, but he doesn't blaze. He heads towards Galia, and the hands are good as always.
That's it. When he's sitting underneath the ball, he's not as good as when he's on the move. And that time the ball was kicked out, up and out in front of him, and made it very easy for him. But Chris Kane, probably one of the better users of the football.
Perfect position from Dean Galia. Just kicked the one this afternoon, but been a focal point. And a lovely Delivery from Chris Kane. It's a great kick. Dean Galea. 2 to him. And 2 in a row to Port.
Reece, I just want to take you back to that incident where Woodley got the free kick with Clifton coming over the top. The way that has been adjudicated this year, it could have been a free kick against Woodley.
Yep.
Now, if that sort of thing goes out of our game, watch this. The player with eyes for the footy goes to the ground. Now, he makes contact below the knee of Clifton.
I think the difference is there. He picked the ball up beforehand, so...
Let's hope that
he
we
was
never
lucky.
see that.
Yeah, if he had have come in at the same time and knocked his knees, it probably would have been a free kick the other way.
Yeah, and they exactly got it right. And
Yep.
let's hope that we never see the player whose aim is the football being discouraged from doing that. By Verrier. He's got McIntosh calling for it out wide. Well, lets to go shorter than that, and that was a nothing kick. He kicked it straight between the two players, and Baird was there. Galea falls over. It comes to the back. They might be able to get out of this. Utica. Now Asprey off one step. Baird's in the favoured spot. He'll just, well, he should have taken the chest mark, then dropped it. Kane's there for the assist, and that's really good vision. He poked it off the outside of his right foot and found O'Sullivan 30 metres out straight in front.
Now, why I think Chris Kane will be drafted next year, he's a 25-year-old now, but he is a very good player. And when you look at Sammy Dwyer, who's in the system at Collingwood now and having a very good year, Chris Kane's probably a bit more polished than Dwyer with his ball use, and that's just a terrific kick. It's a perfect kick.
And it sets up a goal. O'Sullivan kicks it straight over the goal umpire's hat for his second. And Port Melbourne gets a bit of breathing space, and now it's danger territory for Coburg. The margin is out to 38 points, and things could start getting ugly from here unless they're very careful.
Yeah, we just see a mistake there by... and that's under a bit of pressure, that kick too. So he had to kick it on the outside of his right foot, and basically pinpoint that kick. And Chris Kane is a very, very highly skilled footballer.
So 3 in a row to Port, out to 38 points, as Pete said. Scipione's been good in the middle there.
Don't kick it.
No, he did kick it, so it's 50. Let's listen.
No score.
Against Helbig, I think.
Yeah, free kick to Chris Kane in the middle there, copped a high contact, and you could hear the umpire saying, "Don't kick it." You see it here, just a little bit over the shoulder.
And it kicked it away. Yeah, Helbig giving them a free kick away. So coming up could be 4 in a row for Port inside about 6 minutes.
Mark's here.
Hasn't goaled this afternoon.
I'll back him in.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I would too.
Well, that's fixed him right up.
The goal umpire has not moved. I think I mentioned a minute ago, he's a very highly skilled player, Chris Kane, and just a beautiful kick of the football he is. On either side of his body too.
Well, they've been brave, Coburg, but this is in danger now of really blowing out because they've thrown their best punches at Port Melbourne. As Phil said, there's a bit of a breeze at the back of Port Melbourne, but it's out to 44 now. And the old Port Melbourne at the Port Melbourne ground would finish up crushing you with this situation.
Oh, look, they probably will too. But Chris Kane, I think he's with Valenti and Pinwell not playing in this team, it's opened up a lot more responsibility. He's played a lot more through the midfield this year.
Breeze that Phil's been talking about. Maybe McIntosh didn't get a foot on it. Bonadio to Baird. Look how clean that was. And he uses Scipione inside the 50. And this man, who's also been a goal kicker this year, has kicked 18 goals. Now look at this. He's kicked it to the man on the mark. It was about 30 metres away from him.
I don't think he was ready for it either.
There was Ben DeRue standing on the mark, got the shock of his life. Josh Scipione. From 40 out, straight in front. And if there was any doubt about it, that's gone now. Port gets the first goal of the last quarter, and they're going on to record their 5th victory of the year.
Yeah, and the disappointing thing there will be the passage that went through the middle where Woodley had the ball, should have been tackled on a couple of occasions. Wasn't, and they were able to, get the ball out. So disappointing from a Coburg point of view, because the 1%ers are where they have let themselves down today.
And we should mention again, Roscoe, that you checked with Josh, and his name is Shipione. That's the way he wants it pronounced. So we're just about to see the ruck contest in the middle between Oren Stevenson and Wade Shipper. It's 9 points the margin there, and nothing much in it. The Roosters have fought back against Box Hill.
Yeah. First two 1 o'clock games, not far from the end. Prowse dives forward. Oh, no, it's not Prowse, it's Woodley.
Well, Prowse kicked it to him, and Prowse he was looking to handball at every opportunity.
And at the back, Bonadeo!
Yep.
That was set up for him. O'Sullivan was the man who kicked it forward, not Woodley.
Yeah, and you put the ball up and out in front of this bloke, you know, trying to look at the player. He took the mark over and was just sitting on top of him. So it was a pretty easy mark there.
Good mess from there, Adrian Bonadeo. That's his third of the afternoon.
And it really was just set up for him. I mean, Prowse got the ball out of the centre. It's kicked up. Watch that. He's just classic stuff. And it was Elton who just was sitting there underneath the ball. And the big Bonner, all he had to do is jump on his back and catch it. And
Phil Cleary, Sam O'Sullivan was the man who got it to him, and he's done some good things today as well.
Yeah, I like
this. Is going to be a goal here because this will be a 50-metre penalty. What happens is that once the ball has left the area, there's the explanation from the umpire. Now, I reckon that was a split-second one. It'd be interesting to see the replay. So this is a very harsh penalty and a certain goal coming up for Julian Rowe. Yeah, well, the Coburg player saying it was in the contest, and I'm inclined to agree with him. I don't think it was blatantly after the player had got rid of the ball.
It didn't seem to be, but we'll watch it on the replay in a minute.
Rowe will kick the goal, and he does.
Give us a better look at it, but it looked like it was just a follow-through tackle.
Yeah, and sometimes you see those tackles linger a little bit, but it's not one of those ones that was deliberately a second or two after, I don't feel.
He's got rid of the ball, dragged to the ground. No, that's play on. That's play on.
That is a very hard penalty.
Well, it is. And that is the rule, to stop players from bringing players to ground who are not part of the action.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen on that occasion.
Well, there was...
Derricks. Rowe. Fleming.
Good kick.
To find Woofenden on 50. Gives it away quickly. Seedy up towards Galea. He did well to scramble that ball, then body strength, but outnumbered. Elton got his hands up. Ball bounce favoured Kane. Quick step. Oh, that's classy goal. He's certainly draftable, Reece. Chris Kane kicks the goal. His second.
Yeah. Very, very talented footballer, and left or right side, he should be picked up. You know, I think, gee, I could name a couple of midfields which you could use a player such as him at the moment.
And that's the bonus about him too. You touched on the fact that he's two-sided. There are so many players these days who are one-sided, but he's just as adroit with his left foot as he is with his right.
Yeah, no, he's a terrific left foot kick, and we just saw that snap there. He's just a classy player. And when you look at Sam Dwyer, I think, you know, you look at Chris Kane, is probably a bit more polished in his skills than what Sammy Dwyer is.
Within 20 metres, so Gordon just have a stroll around. It's a beautiful kick, finds Langford. Had to stretch a little. Langford. Round his man. Runs to 50. Tommy Langford. Oh, it's cleared the pack. It's a goal. Well, yeah, David Rees-Jones said it. Too easy. Goal to Langford. And they've kicked 5 goals to 2 in this final quarter.
Yeah, they were lining up there, the Port Melbourne players. And, you know, for him to get around the man on the mark there so easily, that's just giving up, I suppose is the best way to put it. And I think they have, Coburg.
Port's biggest win before today was 16 points. So all of their wins have been tight ones. This is the first time they've had any sort of breathing space, and at the moment it's 55. And Coburg's biggest loss, well, they've had a few of those. Their biggest loss was 100 points against Williamstown.
Old Kerry last year wants another go at the top level. Sanderland's 2-on-1.
Oh, no.
He had no one to give it to.
He's cramped too.
Yep.
And there is the siren for, mercifully, as Pete said, for Coburg. Hugh Sanderland stretches. It's been a tiring game. 16-16, 112. Port Melbourne. Coburg 8-9-57. 55 points, the margin. Over to Rhys Jones.
Yeah, look, I think it was just the attitude of the Coburg team right from the first bounce. They just weren't winning the hard ball, weren't winning the clearances, and that just shows, you know, they just weren't switched on right from the start. And when you give Port Melbourne an opportunity, especially at their home ground, they're not going to let you back into the contest. And just too big and strong. Good mixture of, you know, experienced and also inexperienced players. And I think Gary Ayres will get a bit out of, you know, what the young blokes have been able to put up today and be able to go back and teach them a bit more. And they're only going to get better for the fact of playing today.
The man of the day is the man who today qualifies for VFL Live membership in his 175th game. John Baird is with Phil Cleary.
Yes, indeed he is. Congratulations, John. I'm a life member. It's 205. You got 175. You're chasing me down. I reckon the way you're going, you could get there.
I don't know, mate. That'd have been another year and a half, I reckon, and we'll just see, mate. We'll see.
Look, it's been a beautiful career, you know, like you won a best and fairest at Box Hill, a premiership there, you've played AFL football. This is a great moment in time for football for you, isn't it, surely?
Absolutely, mate. You know, I've said it a couple of times this week. I probably haven't enjoyed my footy more than the last couple of years, and just the boys, Port Melbourne Football Club, Ayresy and the coaches, everyone around there just makes an absolute joy. So.
Sorry, and I see, look, I must promote the calendar. There's the calendar, John Baird, best and fairest in 2012. So look out for that, can't you, at Port? Do a great job, don't they?
Yeah, mate, the girls, Jenny and all the girls do a great job, and without them, you know, we wouldn't be the club that we are.
Just on the game, Johnny, they pushed you at times, Coburg, but gee, your ability to fight and kick critical goals, you run through the corridors, superb.
Yeah, listen, I don't think we played at our best today. I thought we made a lot of mistakes and we sort of, and that sort of thing, but we persevered and the young guys keep standing up and, yeah, the old stagers like, you know, Plemo and Chrissy Kane and Bonners was really good today, which was great. So, yeah, good win and we look forward to Willie next week.
Look, you got the old arch enemy, that's the beauty, he goes back a long time, but you got players to come back. You got Valenti, I know Pinwell may be a little bit hurt, but Hughes, you had Billy Burston playing in the development. Gee, there's a bit on the fringe.
Yeah, listen, we think our depth is really good this year. We just got to get the boys on the park who have had a couple of injuries, but you know, 4 on the trot now, I think it is for us, so it's pleasing and you know, onwards and upwards.
Very good man, Johnny Baird. All the best to you.
Good on you, Phil. Thanks, mate.
Great day for John Baird and great to see him enjoying his football at this level for a man who has played AFL football, and he's been a bit of a heart and soul, and he didn't want to be carried off, but they're going to do it anyway in his life membership game.
Yeah, and as that should. Look, he's really been a terrific player down here at Port Melbourne. He's been a great leader, premiership captain, and just a terrific leader of men. And, you know, he's had a young team, a lot of young players out there today, and he led by example, as you'd expect him to do.
Surprisingly tall too, John Baird, because Phil Cleary's about 6'5", and he actually towered over Phil. Great day for John Baird, and Port celebrates with a win. We'll hear the famous song in a moment, but yeah, the margin was 55 points in the end, but I think Bairdy summed it up by saying that they didn't play their best football today. At times they just got a bit too cute, they overused the footy, but they were a far superior outfit, and when you don't play your best and you win by 55, I guess that indicates just how far superior you were.
Yeah, and look, they are a very good team, and always hard to beat at home as well. But we see Ryan Gale limping there. He
was getting some treatment on the back, so he might have a bit of an issue there with. I presume it's the back again.
Well, he actually backed back into a pack and copped another one a bit later on. So maybe he's just feeling the pinch. But let's hope he can get up for next week, because it's a big match next week against Williamstown and two fierce rivals.
It's the biggest rivalry in the VFL competition.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, you know, it'll be a great match. Obviously, Williamstown coming off a big win against Bendigo.
good to see the tradition of the rabbit ears still exists in the circle where the boys are singing the song.
Coburg, but for Richmond.
Especially when he gets a bit of meat on those bones, because there's not much there at the moment, but he's a clean finisher as well. A lot to like about him, a lot to like about this guy. I wonder whether this time next year we'll be talking about Chris Kane along the same lines that we're talking about Sam Dwyer now, that maybe he's made it up to AFL ranks. We think that he could probably get there. Let's find out some more from the man himself. Here he is with Phil.
Chris, we continue to talk about boys making it at AFL level who are mature players, and I know you probably get tired of it and you don't want to wrap yourself up, but does it cross your mind when you see Sam Dwyer?
Certainly gives you a little bit of hope.
Yep.
It's been in the back of mind for a few years to hopefully go to the next level, but he's doing unbelievable things for the VFL, so yeah, it does.
Well, I can tell all those AFL people the boy can play, and I'd have him on an AFL list without a doubt. So we'll leave that one behind for a minute. Port Melbourne, I was saying to John Baird, 175 games today, it's a great moment in time for the club, isn't it, to have stood alone, won a flag, and to be back in pretty good nick. Wasn't your best game, but you're good.
No, I think we're moving in the right direction. We had a pretty slow start to the year, and on Johnny, that's unbelievable. I'm not sure many players will get to that sort of feat, in the coming years. So for him to do it's fantastic.
Well, you tactically, you do it a lot. You're a very good corridor side. You take the corridor on. He forces you to do it. It's exciting to watch.
No, it's good. Well, it's always been the quickest way home and always will be. So if we can hit our skills through the middle, we're going to keep doing it.
And you've got your partners in crime. You've got the likes of Valenti, Pinwell, maybe another injury, but you've got Hughes as well. So there are players on the fringe, and Burston.
There's plenty of players to come back. Well, depth is one thing we wanted to really work on this year, and I think we've got it, so the future looks good.
What about yourself, Chris? Is there a secret to your performances, or what do you think are your greatest assets?
Not much has changed. A bit more of a run in the midfield this year, which I'm enjoying. A few of the other blokes obviously aren't there, so while I'm in there, I'll take my opportunities.
You've got good hands. You kicked 2 goals. I think you had about 25 possessions. You do really chase that footy, don't you?
Oh, it's always nice to get a touch, Phil. Yeah.
Good on you, Chris. Great performances to date, and I think you're good enough to be drafted. So, but of course, the most important thing for you is the big flag at the end of the year.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for.
Good on you.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, first things first for Chris Kane, and the rest will look after itself.
But I'm sure it'll be a great match, and 2 teams in good form.
It will be. Hope you've enjoyed the afternoon here at North Port Oval. It's been a big win by Port Melbourne, and we look forward to your coverage next Saturday for our continuing coverage of Grandstand on ABC television. We'll see you.